everybody. Yay! Yay! Go ahead, stretch it out, uplift your energy. If you can't uplift your arms, just take a nice deep breath. Oh, yay! It's Friday or Saturday or whatever day it is at whatever time it is, wherever in the world you are, whenever you're watching this. Welcome. I am Wendy of Wiseman Integrative and Happier, Healthier Humans. I'm here today with Jason Gerardo. Jason joined us, and you can join us too. There is a restream link. You can message me or pop on if I posted it somewhere. Jason, say hello.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Just trying to get settled in this last minute. I got to turn that fan off. I know it's a little distracting, but I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the invite, Wendy. It was kind of last minute, but it's exciting. I'm glad to join you. And we're actually close geographically, but we connect here more than anything else.
Yep, with gas prices the way they are in California,
Yeah,
it's much more affordable this way.
yes.
Sad but true. I could cry now. Unicorn interlude. All right, so this Fri-YAY event is back again, and it started as an evening thing because of the Social Saturday crossover, where it was already Social Saturday for some people and it was still Friday for a lot of us. And I'm like, oh, how about if Friday evenings I just do a Fri-YAY, because we need more yay every day, don't we? And now I work in the evenings on Friday, so I've tried it at this time, noon, because it's 3 is the magic number on the East Coast, but evidently there's a lot of other LinkedIn events right at this time that conflict, like Lydia's part of positivity meditation or something. But unfortunately, LinkedIn has no way of us knowing what's going on when. It's really a messy system for events. So some people have started doing some event digests and things. I wish I had more time. I'm coming back to the platform a little bit more and trying to integrate the ways to get the things done that, prioritizing our priorities. It's part of the journey, isn't it, Jason?
It is, yes, being the organized confusion sometimes.
So as I was saying, in my disorganized, discombobulated way, is Fri-YAY is about us coming together. Taming your tension with social sharing, celebrating your wins of the week, appreciating that you're here now in this moment. And Max would like to appreciate too. Here he is, the star of the show, Mr. Knows It, Maximilian, my 5-year-old white German Shepherd lap cat. That's a lap full of love. So by appreciating your accomplishments, by shouting out others, sharing is caring, whether you're sharing your own appreciation for yourself or for others. And coming together is a wonderful way for taming your tension, wrapping up the week, kicking off the new week. And we're here today to do that with you. Everyone is always welcome to join on screen for a part or all of the show. Next week, and the next month, I'll be a little bit better. I'm thinking we might move it back an hour. What do you think? I'm going to do a poll, but please let me know in the comments your feedback. Should I move it back an hour or 2 hours? We're going to try to find out which one fits best with the various schedules. And of course, mine, because I need to be here to start the show, right?
Someone's got to push play.
And sometimes I even fail at that. I'm like, oh no, I've been going for 5 minutes and I didn't push live, but the video went. So I thought I was live. Fun with live streaming. Yes. So Jason, what do you got going on? What are some weekly wins or accomplishments, achievements you're proud of? And then maybe some announcements for something you have coming up.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, it's just been about community. It's really a lot of things have been showing up with that. And, as we work with our businesses, but I think ultimately we're about connecting with people. I think that's what both of us do. And that's my whole purpose. And, we make a living at it. hopefully. We reach the people and get out there and share our knowledge and gain knowledge from people. It's reciprocal for sure. You and I were talking a little bit before we started. I've had the opportunity to work with Don Cohen. The Empower Hour, an amazing show. I think he skipped one day about 2 weeks ago, but other than that, he done like 366 days straight
Yeah.
of shows, and he invites people on and really talks about the power of LinkedIn Live and of connection. And Don's got a very I guess strong background, a long history. He tells the story about he's only worked like one job in his life for someone else at like age 15, and then he's kind of
Mhm.
run his own companies and stuff from there. Pretty amazing person, very giving. He's very giving. I would say that. I mentioned him because I was on two of his shows. I was on last talked about transformation, and
Yeah, I caught
then
that
I
one.
joined this week. I joined this
Oh,
week on Tuesday. Am I back? Yeah, I see there's some connection issues, and so we talked about that. So I might pop in and out, and I apologize for that. But so I was on his show last week on Thursday talking about transformation. Had another amazing guest, Elizabeth. She was awesome, and then he invited me back, and I joined him on Tuesday for we talked about transform, and kind of it was a
oh,
different pitch. It's actually, it sounds like it's the same thing, but it was actually a
yeah,
different way we
very
talked
different.
about it, about transformation, and then how do you see transform show up in your life? I think process against where you're at. But
Hmm.
anyway, so that was that show. So those are two of there. Join the amazing community. A lot of good feedback. A lot of good people. I'd love to hear some comments from the audience here. That's what really makes his show, is that community involvement. And it really, you come prepared. Like here, you invited me, and I didn't come prepared. You know what I compared for? Have some fun, talk, share. That's my preparation. But there, I had a topic and kind of had some ideas of where I could go. But it changes with the audience. It changes with
Yeah.
the community, and I think that's key with all of us. Is that within community, we all grow. And that shows up differently than, maybe you thought you were going left and you go right, and right's the right path. So I did that. I'm pretty active. I try to be active in my community, my local community, and I'm a board member of the Chamber of Commerce. And that's a lot of fun. Meet a lot of business members and people in the community that way. Last week on Friday, so I live in a very small community, less than 8,000 people. It's a small farming community. It's an amazing community called the city is Winters, California, or the town is Winters, California. And I'm a board member of the Chamber of Commerce there. Well, there's a city close to us. His name is Esparto, and they are under 2,000 people. So they're really small, but they have a regional Chamber of Commerce. And so last Friday I went to that Chamber of Commerce meeting, and it was pretty amazing. I met some really great people, had some good connections. My wife went with me. She's a board member for an organization she works with, and well, actually we go to service with, called Center for Spiritual Living, YOLO.
Hmm.
And so she went to she went to there, and that was a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people. Met some people actually that I was planning to meet the next week. So just kind of serendipity, how things show, how, I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Jason. And she's like, oh, I'm Holly. And I'm like, and I asked her for a business card. We were talking about meditation and things. And then she's like, well, I don't have a meditation business card, but here's what I do. And it's an organization that my wife's going to work with. And they were going to actually meet with her next week. So great connections there. It was interesting about social media. Social media such as this, uh, you don't know who's watching. You never know who sees you.
Yeah.
I'm out there. I'm branded my company. I'm Jason Gerada with One Path Coaching. That's my company. That's what I do. I see everyone virtually, but I'm in the community. I'm out and about. Well, I gave away a free hypnosis session just to raffle off, and people were like, "Oh, you're Jason from One Path. I follow you." And I had like literally three people in a group of like 30 that came up to me and said that. So I'm like, well, my outreach is working.
Yeah.
And so we connected that way. So that, and then we had an event in town, not to be too long-winded, but some great things. I just really love community. So the Winters Chamber put on our mixer, and I kind of emceed that a little bit. Was able to get in front of people. If you can tell, I'm pretty comfortable talking on the mic. So got to talk to some folks and really just mingle and mix and learn about some new people, and had a lot of fun with that. Upcoming, I've got some great stuff coming up this coming weeks. Thank you for that prompt. It's exciting. So October 5th, I do a free class. It's a Thursday. I do a free class on forgiveness. And it's only about 30, 35 minutes. And I talk about forgiveness. And then we do a process based on a Hawaiian technique called Ho'oponopono. And it's about letting the past go and granting forgiveness, because forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not saying what the other person did is correct or was the right thing, but it's allowing you to have peace. And so we talk about that and we do a process around that. And that's Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And my One Path Coaching, all spelled out, at gmail.com is my email. You could just reach out to me and I can send you the link for that. It's going to be on Zoom. And then the following Sunday, it's normally every third Sunday, but where I'm traveling to go see in-laws this next month. So I do a walking meditation class free here in my local community. Now it's early in the morning because I set it earlier for the summer because it's get a little toasty where we live. So it's still at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. here in Winters, California, right on the beautiful Puda Creek Trail. I actually had a couple segments on Good Day Sacramento back in August, so it was a lot of fun to join them and talk about that. And I'm very passionate about mindfulness and meditation as well. And so that's going to be this coming Sunday, the 8th. Not this coming Sunday, the one after that. I apologize. I'm a week ahead. October 8th. And that's at 8 a.m. here in Winters, California. And once again, you could email me for more details on that or look at my social.
That's normally on third Sundays?
Yes.
Which, of course, with Q4, as my theme for October is, October, overcoming obstacles. And as you just said, you'll be traveling to see in-laws, and then it's November. So, and then, the holidays kind of throw some wrenches in those things. But I definitely want to come out and join one of those. So I'm making notes right now to anchor it in so that I can join more of those this year. That's great. I am so glad, Jason, that I reached out to you today. I sent just a bunch of DMs and last minute, I'm still realigning to be producing this show weekly, right. But I'm so glad it's perfect timing for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, forgiveness is so important to being a happier, healthier human, because this is about, how do we show up as happier and healthier in whatever life throws at us, at whatever we're going through. And forgiveness is just so important to moving through.
Yeah. And like I said, it's forgiveness of that part of that person or people that lives inside of you.
Yeah.
The jokingly say what they're living inside your head rent free. It's time for them to go, and we say that jokingly, but it is a serious thing, and here's the big one: self-forgiveness.
Yeah.
We're so hard on ourselves. We challenge ourselves with so many ways, and we hold ourselves accountable to so many rules and so many things, like who sets the bar, and I've heard like who set your ruler, who set the measurement to said, this is how you measure yourself. But we all have them. And that's what I work with clients on, like adjusting that and saying, where did that ruler come from? Maybe we can adjust that. And maybe you have a little self-compassion and self-forgiveness, I think, tie hand in hand, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And they're key for taming your tension and moving through living well with less effort. I mean, when we can anchor these practices into, reprogramming our being and the way we go about living, that's really where it's key. And that's what I focus on. People are like, what do you do? I'm like, because I don't give you workouts and exercises, and I don't tell you what to eat. Right. I set the foundations of move more, tune into your being, eat real food, mind well, think thoughts that fuel you. It's, a lot of the toxicity isn't just around you, it's coming from within. And so we've set those foundations and their practices, because you don't just lift the weight and your biceps build.
Exactly.
Simple isn't always easy. And you've got to show up for yourself again and again and again and go, okay, this is better. And that didn't go so well. So how now, as Kim would say? You were on Kim's show too, right? The How Now podcast. So many great things going on out here. Yeah. You were on Lydia's Tuesday telecast and Kim's. Did you hit Joy's Email and Coffee podcast yet? Joy's Amber Brooks.
I have not. I don't know if we're connected, but I have not.
Well, I'll work that one out too. Yay!
Yes, celebrations. Yeah. And that all ties in, that, taking this Fri-YAY, taking this moment to just recognize, hey, and even if you're working in the weekends, some of us work weekends and some of us don't, and whatever it looks like for you, but having this time to stop and to celebrate and just, whoo, take a breath, just really just let it go and release and just say, hey, you did good. You did
Yeah.
good this week, and let's celebrate the wins. Let's learn from the ones that weren't so winny, and and go from there,
Win.
right?
That was a win. That's kind of like a win that you're kind of coming to terms with. Yeah, it was a win, but I didn't get everything done. But okay, it was a win.
Exactly.
Winnie win.
Yep. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. My mentor says, dream big and start small.
Yeah.
So each step is a step forward.
I got up today.
I say that, it's funny you mentioned that, but that's true. I use that example, and when I talk about, having a purpose,
Yeah.
and I say, because most people, you hear, oh, I have a purpose, and it seems like this big, grandiose, heavy, oh man, I don't have a purpose. It's like, no, I get up in the morning. That's what my first purpose is: getting up, getting out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
My second purpose is feeding those cats, because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get fed. And then depending on my day, I do my little workout, I do my
Yeah.
meditation. Those are all purposes, and they all build. And then, you build those into the big purpose, and things start showing up. And then you celebrate, like today, you celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah. And you come back around on the wheel, right? Because it's the life wheel. And you're like, okay, now I've set those. And now I don't just wake up in the morning, but I wake up well in the morning with
Right.
more positive thoughts. If I wake up stressed, I put a meditation on, I reset that before I enter my day instead of bringing that into the day. And these are some of the practices that we learn as we go along, and that we learn by sharing with one another and coming together and reminding one another of things we might already know, but maybe
Right.
slips through the cracks of our crazy modern living in this world of convenience that's often not so convenient. It can actually be detrimental. I spent a lot of time the last week I was probably talking about this with the tech troubles and calendar, one integration gone wrong that blows your systems into this whole flurry of time sink.
Right. Yeah, and we could find ourselves in that way, we could find ourselves going down that rabbit hole, and it's like one leads to another, leads to another. So I always say, why not make it positive? Why not find that one positive, because what you focus on is what you get, right? So let's focus on that one little win, whatever that is, and then that builds on another win, which builds on another win, and you
Mm-hmm.
go down that direction, because you have a choice to take which path you want to take. We have a choice with every thought.
Yes.
Let's choose the good one. Let's
Choose
let's focus
joy
on what we want. Choose joy. Choose happiness, right?
and laughter, right? When
Yeah.
those things happen, I mean, in some ways it was good because it got me to get a bunch of crap off that was in the way,
Yeah.
little distractions. And also, I knew because of my practice with these tension taming tools
Mhm.
and practices to not get that frustration I would have gotten in before, and just immerse myself in hours of fighting with the tech. You learn to go outside for a minute, turn to the dog and be like, you know, you
Right.
you reset. If it's just, what was it I heard? It was like 2 quick inhales is supposed to disrupt that anxiety onset.
Right.
Trying to figure out where I heard that today or yesterday or
Right. It's the too quick and then the one long out,
yeah,
because a long exhale, not well, I'll just go there because it's just
yeah,
where it's us in the community just chatting, having fun. It's in polyvagal theory, we talk about the vagal break. And
there we
so
go.
as you have that long exhale, it actually slows your heart rate down. So when you do the shorter, you do the short in breaths, and that's that interrupt, that when in NLP we call pattern interrupt.
Okay.
And then you have that, and there's a scientific reason for it too, but I'll just use that. But then the long exhale, the scientific side is the vagal brake releases. And so that's what a sigh is. A sigh is
Mm-hmm.
we're self-regulating and we don't realize it. So when you sigh, you're breaking that stress pattern. So that's
Yes.
there. Um, One thing I wanted to mention too is that I love joining you and I love connecting with you because just being silly and having fun, like I can come up like I just if I were to sit here and just stop smiling and talking, I can look like a pretty serious dude. I get that. My whole life I've got that. That's just I look like a stoic. And but humor is one of my top values is humor. And I
Huh.
like to laugh and I like to have fun and be silly and have joy. I've got people that, they know me on the technical side, and they know me as the guru-ish, and I'm not a guru, of course, but that's what people will say. And
Yeah.
my one of my veteran groups calls me Jedi Jason the Jedi, kind of, and we have fun with it, but I like to be silly and have fun. That's why I love to join you, because when you're laughing, you're learning.
Hmm.
You're actually, and if we want to talk about the science of it again, back to polyvagal theory, we talk about going into ventral vagal, and which is when you're happy, when you're safe enough, when you feel that you're at home, when your body feels safe, when you're on the vagus nerve is calm, that's when you can connect. That's when you can
Hmm.
learn, you know? And so when you're laughing and you're relaxed, you're physically in the mode to learn and to connect. So you bringing joy to people is helping people learn and improve their lives beyond what you do in your business, just
Yeah.
being you and just being out there, so thank you for that.
And this too, the yay, the big why. Every coach, as you know, will tell you to know your big why and use your big
Right.
why, and your big why can guide you through the trying times. But this one, the first Zooms, when I started doing that, everybody would be sitting there like, this,
Right.
their Zoom face on, their Zoom body. And then
Yeah.
next thing, now I can come on and other people are going like this before me, because you can feel it immediately. And
Right.
even people that can't lift their arms up all the way, you can see that they're doing that uplifting of the energy and that opening and expanding and that little reset. And it's wonderful. Today for Action of Happiness, Action for Happiness, their calendar with daily prompts. The
Okay.
last 2 days have been completely synchronized with me and what I've been going through. But it's write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself. And I would have to say that my 3 things are my energy, despite the drains of so many things over the past year, my enthusiasm and resilience, that capacity to keep showing up. And
Right.
Brendan Burchard was talking about the fear is, are you letting it, it's meant to mobilize you, but too often we let it freeze us. And
Right.
we shrink back and collapse and don't show up, instead of it being that fuel to fire that flight into the next stage, the next phase, the
Right.
next adventure, or the next challenge.
Yeah, and what happens with that, and your body goes into that sympathetic nervous system. It goes into that fight or flight.
Yeah,
Depending on
been
the
there.
story, depending what the story tells you,
I'm still
you go
there on many levels.
you go into that mode. But then what you're talking about is, then if you can't see a way out, then your body goes into that next level, which is the shutdown,
Yeah,
which we call the dorsal vagal, and that's where you shut down, and that's the turtle. That's save my
yeah.
energy, shut down, whatever, close in, just to protect myself, to get through this. And you have to be able to see that there is something you can do about it. That's when you're like, oh, there's nothing I can do, and I can't. And it's like, take that one small action, like we were
This one.
talking about. Exactly. Yep. Open up,
Because
take
the
some action.
turtling, this is part of why so many people have so much neck and back pain. If you don't know, I'm a neuromuscular therapist. I have a hands-on manual therapy practice. I help people out of pain where they haven't gotten results from other methods. And yes, I can work on this remotely with you as well. But so many people are focused on the back pain and the back pain. And it's actually largely the back muscles being pulled apart and holding on for dear life as they hold your head on like this. And as we are turtling and rounded forward in our daily living in this modern world, it's the rounded shoulder that's causing those muscles to pull and pull and pull. So they're screaming and screaming and they're sticking together and adhering. And you focus on this without opening. And this is where the root of it is. It's that closing over to protect our heart, or whatever the myriad of reasons are,
Right.
the weight of the world on our shoulders. Atlas had the weight of the world. There's so many psychosomatic, but we can go down so many paths here.
Exactly.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
That brings me to one of my achievements this week was getting the certificate for the first training with Symmetry for Health. It's a Symmetry Align Smart, but it was the physics of pain, just a simple little certificate. And I'm super excited to study with Patrick Mummy more, because he's right here in Folsom, California, where I have my office. He's just right down the road, and they were traveling this past week, so I didn't get to meet him, but I'd read his book, The Physics of Pain, before, and I love it. And on that note, I encourage you to move more. So many of these alignment issues and things that, the misalignments and the tension patterns start around age 7. Can you guess why that is?
I'll let you tell us.
Sitting in school desks.
Yeah.
Sit still. Right? He did studies to it's backed by science. Don't take my word for it. and when you hear things or read things on the internet, look at who funded those studies and think twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, 27 minutes. It's been a hoot. I would like to do a shout out. I am launching a Q4 experience in the Happier, Healthier Humans community, forming the Tension Taming team with different levels. You can opt for more personalized coaching with me, a more personalized progress path, or you can just come as a community member and enjoy the course going through it with other folks as part of the Tension Taming team. Nice. In the community collective for happier, healthier humans. Watch for more stuff. Posts. That was too much at once. It couldn't even come out of my mouth. Brain funnel issues. Watch for more about that all over the place all the time, or better yet, just message me or book a call and let's have a conversation. Even if you're not interested in that, I'd love to have a conversation with you. You can find all of my links at tamingyourtension.com. And you can sign up for the community right here if the click works. There we go.
There it is.
And Jason, I really look forward to coming to Winters sometime. Now, Winters is has some history. Is it literature or art, or where is that fame, that claim to fame that is kind of ringing in my head that I can't quite pin down right now for Winters, California?
I'm not sure what specifically you're talking about, but it is an amazing community. It's a farming community. It's kind of started around stone fruit. It's been around, I think I don't want to quote numbers. It's been around a lot of years. But I know it was known for stone fruit. There's actually was a railroad that came through here that would pick up the stone fruit and go through. I live right off of Railroad Avenue, and that's where there was a railroad that used to went through there. Like if you look at our city sign or our town's sign, I was corrected. It's not a city, it's a town. It actually has the bridge. It's been turned into a walking bridge now, but it was actually a bridge back in the day. I know Robert Crumb lived here back in the 80s with his wife.
That might be.
I know he was here. He was one of our famous folks. We're known
wheat,
for
walnuts, almonds, grains, fruits, and tomatoes.
Yes, it's an ag community. We have several amazing vineyards here. We have so much great business going on. We have great hotels, our restaurants. We have Buda Creek Cafe that's been on Food Network twice. Diners, Drives, and what was that one? Diners. I watch the show sometimes. I can't even think of the full name of it now. But he came through and ate dinner at the Buda Creek, and it's amazing. And there's the Buckhorn. If you ever heard of the Buckhorn, that's a Winters original. The Buckhorn Steakhouse, and we've got Steady 80s Coffee Shop and Upper Crust Bakeries, and there's so many. We have a collective. If you like to shop, we've got a collective here that's 8 different. They just happen to be all female-owned businesses within one building, and they're so supportive of the community and amazing. I'm trying to build. I should take that back. I'm trying to connect the wellness community here in Winters, because we have so many amazing people. We have people that do gyms, do massage, do things like I do, that do yoga, that do Reiki. We have 2 chiropractors in town now, just for that wellness, and just trying to connect us all in one big community so we could be known as that, because we're right by Lake Berryessa
Huh?
and Lake Solano. We have beautiful outdoor stuff, and there's more, of course, to it. This isn't a commercial for Winters, but there's a lot more.
But it is.
And someone's going to say, "Oh,
Wonderful
Jason,
Winters
right."
Wellness. You know what? Those are WWs.
Yes, and someone's gonna say, "Jason, you forgot this." Yes, yes, I'm sorry. I'm not prepared to do the commercial, but I feel like I'm a commercial because I love this community. It's so amazing. Everyone that has ever come through here, like even before we moved here, my wife and I moved here. My family lived here years ago, but you say I'm from Winters, like, "Oh my God, I love Winters. It's so cute. It's so quaint," and it's really an amazing community.
It
It's
is
really.
cute and quaint too. I mean, I drove someone out there when I was doing Lyft for a while, and I ended
Mhm.
up in Davis, and next thing you know, I end up taking someone to the theater in Winters, and next thing you know, I have no fare for a while, but at least it was fabulous out there.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a great tie-in. There's so much to do here, like indoors, outdoors. It's a lot of fun, and just it goes back to a different time. I
Yeah.
was born in a town called Tracy, and
Mhm.
Tracy went from, when I was born in the 70s, to I think it was about 20,000 people, a farming community where if you didn't know someone, you knew their family. It just was that there was that much connection. I bring that up because I was joking the day. I said, there's only 8,000 people in Winters, and I think I know a lot, but I probably only know like maybe 100 to 200 people. But I
Right.
know people that know people, and that's how it was when I grew up in Tracy. And Tracy changed, has shifted over the years, and it became kind of a bedroom community, and just different things happened to it. But this Winters is still has that heart. And just for what I'm doing, because my reality is that my company's One Path Coaching, but I'm a healer. I've been a healer since I was a small child. It's just always who I am. It's what I've been. Some people have a purpose, some people have a calling, and some people that matches. And with me, it matches. I have a calling to be a healer, and and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother
Yeah.
show. But
When my podcast starts, we'll talk about that.
Yep. But so anyway, just long story longer, it's just an amazing place, connecting back to the earth. I have indigenous roots, and that's something that I'm looking more into. And my great grandmother was born on the Apache reservation, and so being of the earth, from the earth, is in my blood, and this community really showcases that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm looking forward to the wonderful Winters Wellness Community Collective, or integrating that. And I'm sure that, when I'm
Walking
working at
meditation.
REI tonight or somewhere, my brain will, I did a quick search, but couldn't come up with it. But there's something from art or literature, or there's something that I will remember, and I'll be sure to make a post and share with you all when I remember whatever it was about Winters that just made that spark that the brain,
There it
hooray.
goes. It goes again. Time to relax and celebrate, right? And let those neurons bounce where they bounce.
That's right. And there's something there. And now I've reminded myself about it. And now you'll know about it sometime too. So very exciting. And let me know if you would like to have this Fri-YAY an hour later or 2 hours later. Which one works better for you wherever you are in your life, because I'm probably going to do a poll and try to set this so that we can bring more people together to have more of a celebration. I know
Right.
that one of the biggest was when Jamie was at the Vegas Speedway, and that we got up to, I don't remember how many, 10 people. I think there's 10, maybe we had 9 at one moment, but I would like to get more people on screen, popping on and off, and get the comments popping. But we've got to find the right time
Right.
and for the community to thrive, because
Yeah.
community is really what we're all here for. Like we started this whole event today about is, and that's what's so special about your community, is something that's lacking here is, there isn't that close knit thing. And
Right.
and I have to find that online because I've traveled through so many different communities throughout my years. from Ohio to New York City to the end of, to Florida, the end of Long Island, New York City, San Francisco, and now I'm here in the Sacramento Valley area in Folsom and headed for the foothills and a smaller, more mountain town, because I don't resonate with suburban culture at all. I never have.
Yeah.
I never will. Keeping up with the Joneses. It's and I don't have the system or the desire to be in that urban environment anymore. I like to hop in for the culture and withdraw because it's a lot. It was great in my 20s and 30s, but I'm ready for the pace of the foothills and the river and the sound of the breeze in the trees and the fresh mountain air. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to add one more thing just because I was thinking about it, and I think it's a conversation that, in talking about communication, which I'm going to talk about, I think it's a conversation we need to have, and to celebrate, because we all celebrate, and we should all be able to come together and celebrate. And I think there's a lot of polarization in the world right now that stops us from being able to celebrate together and be able to acknowledge each other. It's like I think it's the challenge is like, I don't agree with you, so I can't celebrate your wins. No.
Anti-social media, anyone?
Yeah, you can definitely, we've got someone joining us. That's great. You can definitely disagree, but celebrate. And that's something I love about my community. We definitely don't all agree on the same stuff, but we can talk about it.
Yeah.
We definitely have, whether it's forums or that we can talk about it, or places, or you can go down to the coffee shop and just chat. And, I don't agree with everyone. Everyone doesn't agree with me, but we can say, I don't agree with that. This is what I think. Well, let's talk about it, and walk away and not change. It's not about changing each other's mind, but it's about, I just want to express what I feel, and I want to hear what you feel to help me better understand. And that's what's really amazing about this community, is that we've got folks that fly a certain flag feeling about a certain party or something, and some people that don't feel that way. But for the most part, you've got your outliers, of course, that are, your true believers, your extremists. But for the most part, everyone can just talk and say, yep, we're good friends. We don't agree on certain things, but we're good friends, or I can appreciate your wins and I could celebrate you. And we could all come together and have a Fri-YAY, right? It's not Fri-YAY for this group or Fri-YAY for that group.
Exactly.
It's Fri-YAY for everybody.
This is worldwide open Fri-YAY for all caring, compassionate, kind-hearted beings.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter if you use pronouns or what pronoun you use. I personally try to avoid them, or other little categorizations or boxes, but all over the place. The only barrier is internet connection. Because even if we don't speak the same language, we have smiles and translators now.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the internet connection does cause some difficulties. But several people have tried to join and, failed and kept coming and come back. And I encourage you to bring a friend next time and to join in these conversations. There's so many great audio rooms that have discourse like that, like you're talking about, communication that enriches the world with greater levels of understanding, that you don't have to have the same beliefs. And that's part of why I do the work I do with the Wise Way. Instead of giving you workouts, it's like wearing someone else's shoes, right? I help you find what works for you. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's going for a walk in nature. Maybe it's both. Maybe you can only work out in your home because you can't yet leave your home for whatever reason. But finding the way to move you forward and move you through, and to have an open understanding with others, it's important to have these conversations. Right?
Yeah, it's so important, because all is love, or the call for love, right? Let's go to the universal really quick.
That's right.
That's it. It's all love or love. We're all connected. So why not appreciate each other? It's so my background is I've training in this and that and other things, and I'm pretty well trained. I got stuff, and I have other callings. But one of my main trainings is in neurolinguistic programming, NLP, as it's called. And one of the presuppositions of NLP is respect for the other person's model of the world. So when you work with somebody or when you meet somebody, you may not agree with their model of the world. You might not understand their model of the world, like how they see the world, but you respect and say, that's your model of the world. That's where you're coming from. And get rid of any judgment you have about that, because you can't help them if you're judging. So, I tell my clients, the first thing I tell my clients is this: when they enroll, I say, I have two things, two guiding principles. I'm going to take everything you tell me as the truth and the whole truth. And anything you tell me, I have no judgment for. There's no reason. I'm here to support you. So I have no reason, and I have no inclination to judge anything you tell me. And I take everything you tell me as the truth. And that's where we start. And we go from there. And I think you see it talking about releasing the shoulders and stuff. You see people let a lot go because, in that relationship that I have with people, it can be a little intimidating. Like, oh, I'm going to share with this person I don't know these things and whatever. And then it just kind of, and that's my truth, is that's where I come from. And it allows them to say, oh,
yeah.
And let me start from that place, and that's the same way we can work with other people when we just meet them on the street. I don't agree. I might not agree with or respect what you think or feel, except for that I respect that's yours.
Yeah. So important. It goes back to the human being, and start with a smile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Some of the things that you've talked about today have helped me remember to release some judgment and practice some forgiveness for myself, which is important in the YAY model of you attending yourself, you appreciating yourself, you activating yourself, you awesome you.
Yeah.
And we're here to help one another through. Yay! Another Fri-YAY. Jason, I am so glad that you hopped on. I look forward to more. You've got so many great things coming up. It's so wonderful to see you around more. I can't wait to be in Wendy in Winters, whenever that happens.
Another W.
The more folks that join the tension taming team, the closer that gets.
Yes.
When we'll be going live together in the same room at the same time, instead of however many miles apart it is.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate you and all that you do for folks and for the world, and just having your energy. Oh, I'm feeling it. Can you feel the good energy, folks? I am feeling it. Woo! Yay! See, Zoomies can be for releasing stress or for excitement. It's about that kind of stimulation. And I'm going to go run around in the backyard now. Thank you all for joining. If you're here on the replay, please put #replay and say hey, so that I can reach out and say hey back. And thank you. If you have any questions for either of us, we're both open to connecting. And sharing, obviously.
Yes.
Here we are. And please also feel free to share this replay with others, and come back next week and bring a friend. We're here for sharing, celebration, and laughter, spreading love, spreading kindness, spreading joy, creating a better world together as happier, healthier humans. Make it a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.